Welcome to Better Than One Marriage Podcast, where two are better than one. They get a good reward for their labor. If one was to fall, the other would be there to pick them back up. I'm Ronald Coursey Jr.
And I am Chelsea Coursey, and we are still married.
Today, we have... I almost missed it. That's horrible. Today, we have a subject that men generally want to know, and we're going to delve right in. How to approach a woman.
How do you do it?
Thank you for joining us. So, how are you, my love?
I'm not good.
Not good.
But I'm great.
Yes, not good, but great at the same time. Yes.
You know, because
Yes.
you're blessed, even when
blessed.
you're stressed.
Even when you're stressed, you're blessed.
Yes.
Yes.
And the stress is good stress. It's just living life.
Yeah, living that life stress.
And that's a blessing.
It is a blessing. You know, real stress is not knowing, when your date to report is.
That's right.
Like, man, when is my report date for jail?
Yes.
I don't know. Have mercy, but it's coming. Or, so many things, like when you really, count up the costs, and there's good things to be stressed about, and there's bad things. So.
Right. Like a lot of people long to have the things that are overwhelming to you.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's a fair point.
Just because it's hard to manage everything doesn't mean you don't want it, or doesn't mean that it's not good.
Yeah.
It's just, it's just living life, just trying to figure out how to balance. It's all a balancing act.
It is a balancing act, trying
But
to get it on the balance. Yeah, wouldn't trade it. I mean, you would, but
not really.
Nobody's there willing to offer a better situation.
No.
So today we're talking about how to approach a woman. And I think this can be elusive.
Yes.
And it can be difficult for a lot of men because, they can be afraid or they don't understand what's going on.
Right.
So you think approaching a woman is like approaching something that is not exactly reality. And you look at the woman as more than what she is, different than what she is, or less than what she is. And now your response is based off of what you think. And now her response is based off of what she thinks. And now the results come out with two different things. It's just like, what in the world is going on here?
Yeah.
I thought this would have went better. She's
Right.
like, what just happened here? Everybody's confused.
And then I know I'm not the only woman who has had the experience of the man being mad at you because you didn't receive his advances well.
Every woman has dealt with that. Okay? You don't receive these advances. It was you.
It's you, not
me. It wasn't me. My game was strong. You know what I mean? Drinking bath water and sucking on toes.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yes. And then they roll up like, hey, she should have liked that. I don't understand. Then go to her friends like, yeah, she should have liked that. And I'm like, I know, right? That's such a,
That's hilarious.
I'm saying I'm going to drink that bath water. I'm going to suck on them toes. And you're like, oh, my
Yikes.
gosh.
What is your name again?
Lester.
Let me tell my friends to stay away from Lester.
If you know anybody named Lester. But yeah, that's what happens is that men have a preconceived notion, and especially depending on their, experience with women or just what they think of the female species, they'll approach based off of that.
Yeah. Or where they're even getting their ideas from.
Where, my Lord, we don't need to even
People
start.
out here watching a movie.
Yes.
Or a set of movies that are a similar genre.
These rom-coms.
Like, oh, okay.
Let me bump into her
Right.
accidentally and spill coffee. And then once I spill it, I'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Maybe I can take you on a date and make this up to you. Meanwhile, you bumping coffee and she's scalded. I'm burned. I'm burned.
And now she's in the ER.
Who is this guy? He burned me with this coffee. No. I wasn't going to burn you. I was going to bump you with the coffee. Let me bump you. And then I was going to ask you to go out. Who is this guy? Now you have an assault case.
Epic fail.
Because you was just because you thought this rom-com was real.
Yes.
And that's a funny notion.
It is.
But the other one is that you're going to be just so cool that she's going to be smitten by you.
Yeah.
It's like, this isn't real, buddy. So, but we're going to get into it right now in that I got 3 and a possible, which is really 4. And you have 3 ways on how to approach a woman.
Yes, I have 3 ways that I know I personally would like to be approached as a woman.
Right. And she speaks for all women on this show.
Okay.
Amen.
That's not
Okay.
true.
All the women. She's the one speaking for them. Amen.
You're funny.
No, but let's go.
All right.
With ladies first.
All right. Well,
You want to alternate? I figured we would
no,
alternate.
no.
I wanted to alternate.
I want to be succinct.
You want to be succinct. That means you're going to speak for 20 straight minutes.
No. It was a quick overview.
Oh, but then we're going to talk about each point.
Sure, but not just me talking.
Okay, but
I didn't want it to sound like a soliloquy.
well, that's why we should
But-
that's why we should alternate.
Well, no, you can respond on the things I'm saying too. We're both talking about them, not just me.
Well, yeah.
It's not
okay,
a monologue.
Okay, you
a
okay.
dialogue.
Well, that's fine. I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
misunderstood. I
Okay.
apologize.
All right. Well, me too. Sorry.
I said I apologies. All right.
I accept your apologies.
Apologetics. Amen.
Amen. Okay, so this actually takes place beforehand. It's something that needs to exist before you even say anything or do anything,
Oh boy.
which is know what you want and be attracted to my value.
Okay. What do you mean by your value?
So, my value as in, I don't like there will be times where you just see an attractive woman and you just want to approach her because she's attractive.
Yes.
I actually would like to argue that maybe that should not be. Maybe it should be that there's a woman that you've been around more than just walking past her at the mall and her
Okay.
being attractive to you.
Okay.
Maybe it should be that if you're really looking for a wife and not just like, oh, well, let's just see how this goes, and not wanting to have a bunch of wasted dates. Like, it's really could just be a lot of wasted time
Could.
if you just keep seeing attractive people and try to go on a date with all of them and see how it falls, versus like, what if there's a woman that you've seen at the grocery store? There's a lady at the checkout that you've seen at the grocery store a few weeks in a row and y'all have exchanged a few words and she seems to be someone as a person
Wow.
that you would actually be interested in, or someone you've seen at church or in a Bible study or on your job where you've actually exchanged words with them a few times and watched how they move. And you're like, oh, she actually seems like the type of woman, not
Right.
only attractive to me, but the type of woman I would be interested in.
Yeah.
Which, in order for you to know the type of woman you'd be interested in, you need to know the type of woman you're interested in
Or looking for, yes.
or looking for. So I feel like the first step is like be somebody that actually knows what you're looking for, because if you don't, I could be all of those things.
Could
but
be.
if you haven't even thought it over,
Yeah.
you might not even really appreciate that you've hit the jackpot,
It's true.
because it's just like, oh, well, she seems cool.
Right.
Versus, man, these are the things I was looking for in a woman. There's a different level of appreciation there.
Right.
With a stumbled upon versus a premeditated situation.
Premeditated, Right. That means, yeah.
Yeah. Because a lot of times women, we don't want our time wasted.
Sure.
So if you just think I'm cute, but like but I'm not the type of person that, we don't even know, we haven't even laughed at each other's jokes once or twice or anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just cute to you. And now it's like, I'm going in, like, women in general tend to be more thoughtful
Yeah.
about things.
Yeah.
So like we'll really think it through and y'all will just be like, oh, you're cute.
Yeah. I just thought you was cute.
That's it. And sometimes that's great and works out and sometimes it doesn't. But,
Right.
I just like people that actually premeditated what kind of woman they actually want to be with.
Yeah.
And then recognize that in me and say,
Right.
oh, wow, she's a good woman.
Wow. Yeah. That's hard, right?
Yeah.
It's not hard if you've spent some sort of time
Yeah.
together. Right, you hope that she's a good one, but there should be some signs. If you're at the grocery store and you look in her shopping cart or her basket, as some people call it in other parts of the country,
Yes.
and all she got is hot sauce and chips, she ain't got no fruits, no vegetables, nothing of substance, which is kind of judgy. But all right, I've seen you a few
But
times.
meanwhile, you're a vegan.
I'm a vegan.
Yeah.
She got a whole meat smorgasbord. It's like, let me see how you feel. Maybe she's not that healthy. Maybe she just likes meat. Maybe she's a chef. I don't know. But sometimes you have to look at something deeper. How is she handling herself? And a grocery store is it's hard.
That's a hard one.
That's a hard one.
But that's why I said a cashier, because it's like
Right.
she's
That's
always
true.
there, and maybe you always go to her line
Right.
and y'all have exchanged a few words
Right.
and you're like, oh, okay.
That can backfire. 'Cause
It can.
Depending on who you are and if you're creepy. I feel like women have a better sense of men being creepy than men think they do.
Probably.
Like you can keep going. It depends, because I feel like if she finds him attractive and not creepy, she'll be like, oh, nice, I get to see him again.
Well, as long as you're not being creepy.
Right. Being see, this is where people mess up on how to approach a woman.
Right.
You're being creepy to her.
Yeah.
And you think you're being cool.
Yeah, because day one should not be, hey, girl.
Hey,
Not day one.
day none should be, hey, girl, let me get my ass, let me get my hair first. I was just trying to let you know, I like that bath water.
Exactly.
That bath water is good, girl.
Right. Like, not day one. I'm
Day
talking
one.
you've exchanged a few casual, hey,
Yes.
how's your day
How's
going,
it going?
Kristen?
Yes.
Oh, good. Cool.
And she gave you something.
Yeah.
Because a woman, hopefully a woman who understands, because there's a difference between being friendly
Yes.
and moving past the friendliness.
Yes.
To be like, okay, hey, how you doing? My day's good. How's your day? Oh, that's a nice shirt you have on.
Right, right.
Or something that gives you enough to grab on and say, maybe.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Grocery store game. And that's a good one for you, man, because she can't run.
Right. She's
That's
stuck
all.
here.
She's stuck here.
She's not shopping, and
She's
you're
not
now
shopping.
walking with her down the aisle.
Right. So you're right. That's beautiful, because you're in a space where you're supposed to be together,
Yep.
technically.
Yep.
Right. I don't have to go to her line, but I do have to come to the store to shop. And she's there, and I know she's going to be there. Let's have some good exchanges.
Right. Yeah, and I think it ascribes more value to the man if the man is like thoughtful
Yeah.
before even bringing up, hey, could I take you out sometime? Because now I feel like, oh, like we've talked a few times and you feel like I'm a good person.
Yeah.
Not just, it means a lot more than like a whistle or a woody woot,
Woody
know?
woot. That's
It's like,
wow.
it means a lot more. It really does, because it's just obviously all you're going off of right now is I'm attractive to you.
Yeah.
If we just walked past each other in the mall and you're just like, oh, hey, here's my number. You should call me sometime.
Yes.
It's like, all right, cool. I'm flattered. But like, I'm already kind of just starting out. How many other women have you given your number to or asked for their
Right.
number while you've been in the mall today?
All of them.
It's like just the thoughts that go through it. Just me personally.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a minute, but the thoughts that would go through my mind were those types of thoughts of just like, here we go. Like this dude, he probably done gave out his number 10 times this evening.
Yeah.
Like I'm not special to you, and not that I should be deeply special. We just, talked a couple of times or something, but I'm just saying like value.
Yes. That's a one we could go on that for a long. Like that is such a leg up, is to find people at where they work.
It is.
Because they're there. And like your first thing you can say to her is, oh, I always come to your line.
Well, not the first thing.
Not the first thing.
But
I mean,
yes,
I'm
but
talking about
if you've been there
the
a few
first thing
times,
you're going to say in
I
an
say to
effort to
bridge it
reach
over.
out and bridge it over and say, well, you're my favorite cashier that works here. Clearly, you're the best one. I don't know who put you right here, but they got you in the right spot.
Right. Exactly.
Because you got the best smile, got the best booty.
Okay.
You look
And-
good.
and
now.
we're-
And that's where you go.
crossing into
Now
creepy
you're a creep.
Lester.
See? That fast. See? You go right from, oh, this is cool to, oh, he's crazy.
Right.
He ain't crazy. He just don't understand life.
That's
right?
a bonus tip. Don't lay it on too thick.
Don't lay it on too thick. And that's a perfect line you can hit her with. You're my favorite cashier here. I don't know what it is. Something about you. I don't know if you're knocking prices down for me, but I feel like you are. And I like to be in your line often.
Yep. And then leave it there for today.
And leave it there for
Next
the day.
week, come back and see if she's still receptive.
See how she takes it.
I'd like to take you out sometime.
Yeah, that's a bonus tip as well. Be aware.
Yeah, but test it out first.
Test it out.
Don't go for the gusto and assume
That's
that
funny.
is, yeah.
People out here just, she was feeling me. It's like, sir, she was feeling the button, the panic button, trying to, is there security that can
Right.
come? Is this button still? Excuse me while I look down.
Right.
Calling people over.
Yeah, just got a lot.
Oh,
My
man.
receipts just ran out. I'm just going to grab another roll.
Yeah, excuse me for a second.
Yeah, it's bad.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
That's
so
the first one.
That's the first one. I did get some scriptures at the last minute.
Okay, you funny.
So as far as value, we all know about Proverbs 31, verse 10 says, who can find a virtuous woman? Her price is far above rubies.
Yeah.
You want to find a virtuous woman.
You do.
And you got to see that there's worth there. Who can find one?
And how could you know she's virtuous unless
Right.
you actually take time to vet her
Yeah,
out?
read Proverbs 31, men.
Yeah.
I feel like it's often stressed that the women should read Proverbs 31 to know how to be one.
Yes.
But do we stress that the men should read it to know who they're looking for?
Amen. That's a bar.
Amen.
That's a bar.
All right. So number 2, I
Number two.
have
Yes.
be clear about your intentions. That was something that really just scored you very highly.
Oh yeah. Scored high.
I don't like to guess
Yeah.
where you are.
Yeah. I don't want to know.
I don't want to be wondering, okay, so I think he likes me.
Yeah.
You know, like we went out. I'm not sure if it was a date. Is it a date?
Yikes.
You know, or like, are we exclusive? Or
Yeah.
like, be clear.
Be clear.
That is very attractive.
Right.
When you are straight up like, yeah, I'm all about you. Like, I'm
Yeah.
out here. I want
yeah.
to be with you. I'm seeing if this is going to work.
Right.
It's me and you right now.
Yes.
Boom. We are going on a date. I'm not just taking you out
Right.
for fun. We're not hanging as friends. This is a date. That is very attractive to be just, very clear about your intentions. Because it also it makes it clear that you're not like just trying to be a player,
It makes it clear like you weren't just walking down the street.
Exactly.
Right. You like, oh, this just happens to be somebody who I can say something to.
Right.
It's like, no, I came over here. Like
Yeah.
I have direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. For intentionality, I have Proverbs 18:24a.
Yeah.
A man that hath friends must show himself friendly.
Yeah.
And yes, that's talking about a friend, but what it's saying is be a friend if you want them to be your friend.
Yes.
Be a boyfriend if you
Right.
want to be her boyfriend.
Exactly.
Like that's really kind of like a
Right.
law of attraction. I think
Right.
be what you want.
Yeah. Don't
be.
Don't be out here fronting.
Right. I feel like that goes for so many things. Like if you go for a job interview and you want them to, you don't go in there with, all casual with your pants sagging,
I might.
lean back in the chair and just be like, talking with your ebonics and slang and all kinds of other stuff. And then be like, yeah, because of course I should be your secretary.
Obviously.
I have great grammar. I can proof emails like no one else.
You're going to say secretary like that. That's very funny.
Yeah, I'm a great communicator.
Yeah.
I have great customer service skills. I'm going to be great answering your
Oh,
phones.
man. Hey, yo, how much that thing pay?
Right.
How much that thing pay right there?
Right. It's like, then you can tell people because then you can tell people whatever you want, but they're not going to believe you.
That's right.
You can tell them I'm great at this, but they're looking at you like it doesn't look like
I
you
don't
are.
think so.
You're not acting like that
Right.
person. You're not
Right.
acting like who you're saying you are.
Yes.
So like, don't tell me you're going to be that, but I'm not seeing that that's who you are.
Yeah.
Like I need to, just be consistent and be
Yeah.
intentional.
That is amazing. That's actually a great point because men are always trying to be cool, Chels. Like we're always trying to be cool because the cool guy always gets the girl.
So they think.
So they think, and in some respect he does. But well,
I don't feel like he always keeps her.
no,
he might get her.
not keeping her, not
Yeah.
necessarily. Because sometimes a cool guy is just a cool guy who's a great man.
Sure.
And he just happens to be cool. I'm one of those people. You know what I'm saying? But we're trying to be cool because we think that that's what she'll like.
Right.
And in some respect, that's true. But it doesn't mean that you're so cool that she's going to put everything to the side. This is not a porno. This is not a music video. This ain't no book. This is not The Notebook. This is not a rom-com. Like, you are not going to be cool enough to just walk up to her and just make her be like, oh,
Yeah.
I just have to have him. I know he can't read. And he seems like he walked
He
here.
can't read.
And he was definitely musty.
Oh God.
But I'm going to just put that to the side because he's just so cool.
Right.
Like, that's not how this works.
Most of the time, no.
It's like you being intentional shows that, oh, I came here for a purpose. And now, what is that purpose? It shows in my intentions. And you can't just cool your way into
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm just going to say the nice thing. But what happens you end up trying to be too cool. And now you end up seeming like you just don't care.
Yeah, and like you're not serious.
And you're not serious. And you're just like, oh, well, it's whatever. I'm cool. So, she going to like my cool. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. She's just like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah,
and she
it
knows
is.
you're a clown.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you might not be, but you were trying to be something.
You were trying to
and
be.
failing at your intentions.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
People fold. They do fold because now she needs to know. It's like, oh, I'm looking like, no, I am attracted to you. and I want to know if you are interested or available to spend some time together.
Yes.
And see where it goes from there.
Yes. Amen.
That's great bars right there.
That is great, but that was perfect.
Only if you're good looking to her, or at least acceptable.
I was going to say acceptable. You don't have to be
Right.
GQ, you know, but yeah.
I feel like, honestly, that would be very refreshing to a woman, honestly.
That would be lovely.
Like, hey, I find you very attractive, and I would, I'm attracted to you. Hopefully you're attracted to me, but I would like to just see where it can go.
I mean, your first version was even better. Like,
I
you
know,
don't
I said
even
it
have to
bad.
mention attraction.
Yeah.
If you just say, like, hey, you know, I've really been enjoying our interactions, and, you know, I'm interested in you, and, you know, I'd like to spend more time together and see where this goes. Butter.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful, because
That's
she
good
understood.
stuff.
Because she understood where it was.
And we can assume that you find us attractive. We already know.
Yeah.
You know, if you're asking me out, you think I'm cute.
Right.
So, like, you don't even have to say that part. And I feel like that's what is refreshing.
Right.
Is where that's
true.
not it.
You're right.
I'm not just reduced to how cute I am.
How cute I am.
Yes.
I'm gonna get into that later.
Okay. All right. Cool stuff. Number 3, I have take initiative, and in parentheses, I have continually.
Okay.
So for me, what you don't want is, like, you know, we had a few interactions, you know, you asked if you could call me sometime.
Yeah.
So now we've talked on the phone for, you know, a
3
few weeks or something. Maybe you brought me flowers one time or, you know, something like that. But then you have not scheduled a date.
You're right.
And you have not, like, asked about, like, taking things to the next level. Like, take initiative.
Oh, yeah.
Please, because if you just kind of lollygag in that, all right, I was intentional about my pursuit of you,
Right.
but I'm not, like, taking the initiative to, like, step it up and, like, progress.
Yeah.
Like, now we're just in this lull
Limbo.
and then that takes me back to, now I'm not clear about your intentions.
Right.
I was, and now I'm confused,
I don't
you
know
know,
what to do.
because the roller coaster is still just climbing
Yeah.
when is it going to drop?
When is it gonna drop?
Yeah. And I really personally, just me as a woman of faith, Bible believing Christian, you know, and more of a old fashioned type of woman, you know, I want the man. I don't want to ask you,
Right.
you know, oh, so, like, are you going to be interested in making this official at some point? You know, or where do you see this going? Or
Right.
like, you know, no, you take that initiative. Ask me. You know, I feel as though this is going really well. How do you feel this is going? Like, you take the initiative in pushing things forward.
Yeah.
I really think that's really important. And I still think that's part of the approaching phase,
Yeah.
because you're not in a relationship yet.
Correct.
But you need to take the initiative to get into one.
Right.
You know, if you take too long to do that, then it kind of gets like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Confusing. You're laying a foundation for communication.
Yes.
You're laying it like we're seeing, like, this is everything that you do before you're together is a precursor to you being together.
Absolutely.
Like, your talking phase is, like, you know, it's going to be the best indicator for how this is going to go. Mm-hmm. If y'all been arguing now and y'all ain't even together, like, you don't just get together and stop arguing.
Right.
And now, if you are struggling to communicate clearly, struggling to lead clearly, struggling to take initiative, to be intentional, it's like that's not going to just drop off. You know, it might get a little better, but probably not.
Yeah.
This is who you are.
Yeah.
So yeah, being initiative, showing initiative, or you know, what is the word? I can't even think of that.
Taking initiative.
Taking initiative. My Lord, yes, taking initiative is gonna be huge, especially for those who are looking for a husband.
Yeah.
You know, you need a husband to take initiative. When we were
Yeah.
buying a house, my wife didn't do much of anything.
True.
I just took care of it.
It's true.
You know what I mean? She's looking for, and that's not to say she couldn't have. She could have done it herself, but it's better for her, you know, just in family. Like, hey, we just need somebody who can take care of it.
Yeah.
Cool. I ain't got to be asking you, hey, how's the thing going with the house? And now you get an answer. Oh, I don't know. You know, so what else am I going to ask you about that you don't know? Where are our kids right now?
Right.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah, seriously.
You're trolling.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, scripture I wrote down for that was another very familiar one. Proverbs 31:10. Proverbs 18:22. Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor of the Lord.
Favor.
It's a finding. It's a pursuing. it's something that requires initiative. And I think about like in the old days, I'm not super schooled on like the old rituals and everything. Sorry, my sis is texting me and I'm just so happy for her with her new little one that she has.
All right.
And it's a picture. Pause for picture.
All right, daughter. Yes, it's a baby. We're on the podcast right now.
I know. Look at my niecey.
We're on the cast right now.
She's my niecey poo. She's new. Okay, but what was I saying? Right, but when you look at like back in the day, like the man had to take way more initiative than now, because the woman like had no education,
Oh boy.
no job, was literally having to go from my father takes care of me to my husband takes care of me.
Right.
There would have been and then he has to go to her dad. She
Right.
can't go to her dad and say, Dad, what do you think about this guy? This guy has to go to her dad and say, I would
Right.
like to, pursue your daughter. Like it took us so much more on the man's end
Right.
to like obtain this wife,
Yeah.
that like, and it was like he didn't only have to impress her; he had to impress her whole family. There was just so much more value in that finding of a wife,
Yeah.
like, and a lot more that it took versus now where it's like guys are kind of just waiting culturally, like just waiting around, just like, oh well, but kind of like just taking it for granted.
Yeah.
Like it's not really, it's just like, oh yeah, because I'm a good dude. I got my ducks in a row. I'm nice looking. All right, she should like me. She should want me.
Yeah.
And then it's just like no flowers, no dates, no this. We just Netflix and chilling.
Well, yeah.
And like we're just chilling. It's very chill and very slow and just very. And it's like, I really feel like that's something that's not setting a good foundation for a relationship, because it really gives your wife a lot of security too. To know that you like went all in to obtain her as your wife.
Right.
It really just shows how much value she holds in your eyes, and it shows how much you really want her. It's not just like, oh, like she just kind of like agreed with me and we're
Right.
together, and just when we get around to it, we'll get around to it, and I don't have any type of vigor or timeline, or just I'm in no rush, and we're just here, and we're just enjoying ourselves, and it's like it just gets so and I feel like that's how a lot of people wind up in these relationships where nothing's going anywhere, because I think the value of taking initiative has decreased severely.
Well, I mean, there's something. A big part of that is how people perceive actual dating and coming together now. Is like men think that women are trying to get over on them. So now you don't want to take initiative or do things for her because you feel like women are gold diggers, even though you ain't got no gold. But all right, you feel like women are all out to just get and not, and not give anything. So now there's just this whole overarching idea of women just aren't worthy of me doing something for her because I don't know her motives. Yeah. But of course you can find out her motives if you're actually direct.
Right.
And ask.
Right.
And observant.
Observe. Yes.
And look and see, and you won't get clowned or won't get used.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it means a lot to a woman when it's just like, he went, like when I think back on our courting, like it's very special to me, because like I never had to ask you, when are you going to propose? I never had to ask you, can we go on a date? I never had to ask. It's like you were pursuing me.
Yeah.
And just the dynamics of men and women in relationships, like women need that security of knowing that like I'm like your one and only, because women don't have as much of an inclination or a reputation for being players.
Right.
Like, like it could be, but it's not common as it is, and as innate as it is for men, where it's like most women have dealt with men that weren't serious before getting with their husband.
Yeah.
And so when you get with your husband and he's just like, oh no, like I'm into you and I'm pursuing you and I'm prioritizing you and I'm making plans for us and I'm like pushing our life forward, our life together forward. And all of that. Like we started talking about wedding plans right after you proposed, and you know, like you were paying for stuff and just getting it done. And,
Yeah.
you know, you were putting stuff in place, you know, for us to be good once we were married and all of that. And, you know, that's like very meaningful to me. I think I wouldn't have been as secure and felt as loved if you weren't taking the initiative.
Right. Certainly.
Yeah.
Amen. All right, cool. So my my three are, this is ways to approach a woman. Number one is age old, but it's still true. Confidence. Confidence conveys value without anything being said.
It's true.
And that's actually, it's more for you, but it's almost for her as well. All right. When you're confident about something, it conveys the message that you believe in what you're doing. At the very least, you believe what you're doing is right. And for her, it says to her, he really thinks that I'm valuable.
Right.
Oh, like he's super confident. He didn't come over here like, well, you know, I saw you across the room, and I was like, you know, I don't, you know, maybe
I might have a
maybe something is there. Like that says to her, he don't even know if he think I'm cute or not.
Oh, right.
Right? If you come over, you don't want to come over too confident. You elbowing people out the way. Move out the way. I'm gonna get to her, girl. I had to get to you. See, that's too much. That's too much, right? That's too confident. But you think about it, like being confident concerning anything. It says that here's the value for the man is that if he's confident, look from her looking towards him. If he's confident, it says to her, he's that confident for a reason.
Yeah.
This is why confidence is the most attractive quality to women. It's not going to change. When he's confident and it shows that, oh, he's not afraid to talk to me. He came over here. He knows that he has value. It's because he does. Or he's a great actor, right? But typically, true confidence, you don't even have to try and be anything. You're just who you are.
It's true.
And women know. Women have intuition. It ain't deep. You can tell when you're putting on. This is where sometimes what happens is they know you're putting on and they'll put it to the side because they're lonely or they just want some attention.
It's true.
That's where they start thinking. Then they end up getting, you know, kind of in the mix of something that didn't need to be in the first place. And it ain't nothing new when you find out later down the line, like, oh, he kind of was trying to play, but I just let him do it because I wanted some attention.
Yeah.
And he was there. And now you're in a mess. It's not that she didn't realize you wasn't all that. She just let it slide.
Right.
But it's better to actually be confident. In order to actually be that confident, you have to have self-worth.
Yeah.
And to actually, you know, kind of have something going on for yourself.
Yeah.
You don't have to be perfect. But your confidence of anything, if you go to a mechanic and he's like, man, I mean, I feel like I could fix your car.
Exactly.
I feel like these brakes are okay. I threw them on. I'm not sure if they're really going to work.
Right.
But just give it a shot. And you would say you must be outside your mind.
Right.
And now she's saying the same thing to you. You coming up all lily back, jelly back, as the pastor would say. Man be pamby, that's what he would say.
Man be pamby.
Man be pamby up there. And you trying to convince a woman that you are something that you're not, or you're not even trying to convince her. And now, you know, your shot done went out the window. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
That is good.
It's true.
Amen. All right.
Amen. I
Well,
don't have
you don't got
anything
nothing
to
to say. That's cool. 'Cause I'm confident, but I don't think I was being overtly confident with you. I wasn't even trying to. I was trying to actually play the long game with you.
Yeah.
And not long, but I just wasn't trying to be all on you because I had just met you.
But Ryan, see, that leads me back because I'm even thinking about you telling me that like you observed because you had time to, that I was like, you know what, I don't even be out on a Friday night. I'm at home watching TBN.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like, if you never even had a conversation with the girl, like, how could she even tell you what she's doing on a Friday night?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and we had short interactions. They weren't long.
Right.
But, you know, just in those few interactions, you're able to say, oh, that's the type of girl I would be interested in.
Certainly.
Not, you know, she's just cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
No, but the confidence, you never seemed like you weren't sure if like you should even be approaching me or not, or talking to me or not. Like, you were cool.
Yeah, I'm not that type of guy anyway. And if I had seen something, I just would have backed off. I don't know about my business.
Right.
But it was never like, that's not even an answer. That's not an answer, because sometimes men have an answer that they can come up with, and it sounds like it's something you put together. Women generally don't, but she wouldn't have said to me like, yeah, on a Friday night I'm home watching TBN. That's way too specific.
Yeah, it is.
Like, I know that's what she's doing.
Right.
Because she don't even, she doesn't know me from a can of paint on top of it. I wasn't in there like, yeah, I'm a super Christian. And I wasn't really. But I went to church every week because I was playing at church.
Right.
I didn't say to her, hey, I'm a Christian. What do you do on Friday nights? I ain't say nothing like that. I don't even remember why I asked what you was doing on Friday. Maybe we were just talking.
You didn't. It was because the song that I have written, the lyrics of the song.
But this fun time with you doing with your girl on a Friday night.
Yeah.
Something. Okay.
And
very
I was
precious.
just saying, like, this was very outside of my actual being.
Yeah.
I was just trying to make a
She was
catchy
making
tune.
a song, yeah.
And it just, I write to the music. I don't write to myself.
Right.
And, like, the music sounded like that. So
Yeah.
I wrote what it sounded like was happening, according to the...
All the violence and arguing. Something. I could barely remember, but I remember all your hits, Joe. All your hits, girl. Number 2, and this is something that's super important, is, okay, and I'll add a caveat, smile. If your teeth are not the best, closed mouth smile.
Okay.
See, just like this. Closed mouth smile.
You're so funny.
To show it's okay, like, because everybody can't have nice teeth. They can if you got the money, but if you don't, that's okay. You can still have a nice smile without having perfect teeth or something like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the issue that happens with men is like men. And what I wrote a side note. Don't think supermodel, think super dad. Okay?
That is so funny.
It's funny,
But true.
but it's true.
Yeah.
Like people did, like they did a study with women and said they had a picture of like 2 men. One is a man with like more chiseled features and more like dashing, daring, and then they show a picture of a guy with like a softer features, not really a jaw cut line. And more women pick that guy. Or matter of fact, they'll pick this guy to have like a short affair with, but they'll pick a guy who looks like a dad to like build their life with.
Right, for sure.
Why? Because he looks like a dad. You know, it's like women are looking for a dad, not a dad for them, but like a dad for their children.
Right.
Like you're trying to be super sexy with her. It's like, because what we think is sexy is always what we've seen on TV. Oh, go ahead.
I got it. I got to say it before it goes. Because we were saying, that the cool guy always gets the girl.
Right.
And I was saying, but the cool guy doesn't keep the girl.
Right.
Girls ain't really into, because like you were saying, we know.
Yeah.
We know you ain't the long
No.
the long game type, you
Nah,
know, and
yes.
it's like we're just flattered that you think we're cute because we feel like you have your pick of the litter.
Right.
That's really all it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, good guys keep the girl.
They keep
Cool
the girl.
guys get the girl sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the times these days.
Yeah.
But yes, he gets the girl, but he's going to do it in a way that, because if he's dealt with women, he understands like nothing is more attractive to a woman when you walk up to her than a nice smile.
It's true.
Literally. And if you have a nice smile, it's like, oh, look at him. He looks happy. But we want to come up with this, with what Zoolander would call the blue steel. You up here squinting your eyes trying to be sexy, no smile on your face, and what happens is you end up grimacing.
Yeah. Grimacing.
You got this,
Or
your
just
face is
looking
like,
obvious. Like it's obvious too. Okay, not grimacing.
what's up, girl? It's just like, you tell me. Are you
I
okay?
can't.
Are you having a stroke?
I can't.
But yes, we think a serious face is sexy to women. We really think that.
Right.
And we were basically
'Cause
walking
I look
around.
unbothered and just
I'm unbothered. I'm
Yeah.
cool. Cool guys don't smile. I'm unbothered, and I think that, hey, if as long as I have this face on, she's gonna think I'm sexy. And she's like, why is he constipated? Like, what's wrong with his face? I don't understand. Why is he so mad? Not understanding
what I
that,
thought.
literally, the best thing you could do is walk up to her and smile.
Right.
And she'll light up immediately.
It's true.
Yeah.
And we'll be more open and receptive at that point.
Yes, and if she's
Very
and if she's and if she's a jaded woman, she'll be questioning why you're smiling. Why are you smiling at me like
Exactly.
that? Why are you, hold on now. Let's take it easy, buddy.
That's very funny.
But yeah, think super dad. You gotta remember, women are looking for somebody who is can be a father to their children.
It's true.
And can be loving and nurturing. And you think about her father, and in some respects they are looking for a father, provided they had a good relationship with their father. Daddy sees his little girl, he doesn't scowl at her.
Right.
He smiles, hey baby, how are you? So you do the same thing. It leads her to believe, firstly, that you have some of those same traits.
Right.
And then you can open your mouth and see what happens from there.
Right.
But don't come up with the blue steel thinking you're sexy. You ain't sexy, boy. Just smile at this woman. and give her some good conversation.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Amen. Okay. Awesome. And finally, well, semi-finally, my third point is play to your strengths, either hers or yours. Your strength is what others have identified as your strength. Her strength to you is what others have missed about her. This is in a first reaction. And what it means is that what you don't want to do is and people say this, but it's true. Sometimes you do. If I see you and I say, oh, wow, you're so pretty. That's great because women always want to know that they're pretty. But if you're pretty, you've had it 1,000 times.
Yep.
Yeah, 1,000 people have called you pretty. It doesn't mean the same thing.
Right.
But if I say, wow, you have just a really calming presence.
Yeah.
I really feel nice around you.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, he sees something in me that's more than just my surface.
Yes.
Because that's what she really wants anyway. She wants you to think she's sexy, but she doesn't want you to only think she's sexy. She wants you to think that she wants you to know who she really is. That she can really be intimate with you, like who she really is on the inside, her internal strength.
Right.
The things about her that nobody's looking for. That's her strength. Your strength is identified strength that others agree with. Okay?
Yeah.
You feel like you're funny. Other people have tried to fight you consistently, saying if you make another joke, that means that's not your strength.
Right.
Your strength is something that other people can identify.
That is very true.
It's very true. Not just how you feel about yourself.
That's right.
I know I'm cool. I'm walking in. You tripping. Oh, hey, girl. You tripping in, walking in. You musty.
Right. Oh, my gosh.
Come on now. I know I smell good. My natural man.
I feel like people don't even know. People don't be going around saying they smell good if they don't smell good.
Oh, man.
That's something else. That might be a deeper issue.
That's a whole other thing. You thinking your natural male essence is sexy. It's like, sir, we are going to have to escort you out of whatever this place is. You cannot be here anymore. You smell. But yeah, understanding your strength, and I say play to your strength, is like, okay, if you know that you're not the best talker, then you need to maybe think of something to say.
Right. It's true.
Yeah. If you are a good talker, okay, what else is strength? Like, use that.
Yeah. And honestly, it's honesty is cute too.
Yeah.
Like if a guy were to come to me and be
Yeah.
like, I'm not a great talker, but
Yeah. With a
like,
smile.
Yeah. Like I'm working on it. I'm trying to learn how to have.
Try to learn.
I'm just like, oh, that's sweet.
Yes.
But you want to talk
Right.
to me? Okay, that's sweet.
That's a sweet woman.
Yeah.
See, a sweet woman can accept that, and if she disses you by saying that, you don't need her no how. She's a mean heifer. She got to go.
Okay.
Being mean. If somebody be honest is nice, and I don't mean she won't still be like, nah, I'm okay, but. Yeah, even being honest is beautiful. Play to your strength. And by strength, it really just means know who you are. That's what it really means.
Right.
You play to
That's
that
true.
and lean on that. If you're funny, go be funny.
Yeah.
Don't try to be serious because you think that that's sexy.
Yeah.
If you're not funny, don't try to be funny.
Really what you're saying is be yourself. But you
Exactly.
have to know yourself to be yourself.
You do. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, be yourself, know yourself, and that really is where your confidence comes from.
It's true.
Knowing that I have value. Like, I feel like I could talk to any woman. Because I feel like I'm valuable. I literally feel like I'm what every woman wants. Which is ridiculous. But I feel that way.
Well, no, but
At heart.
No, I mean, because it's not ridiculous because you're not talking about that in a shallow way.
Right.
Because I look so
Right.
good, everybody wants me. You're talking
That's
about
it.
your actual character
Literally.
traits.
That's it.
And your actual way of living your life and your actual things that you have attained.
That's right.
Like that's definitely,
Yeah.
if you look at it that way, yes.
Yeah, I think that. I literally I know. Like, that's a part of yeah.
And like
Yeah.
you said, that can't account for chemistry.
It can't. None of that
Chemistry is
stuff.
something that we can't force or make.
No, you can
I mean,
make
you
a little
can
bit.
make it a
You
little.
can grow it.
You can grow it
Yes. Not that
to
real
an
chemistry.
extent,
Not
though.
that
Right.
genuine.
We're talking about that organic
Yes.
chemistry.
Yeah.
That is something you can't account for. You guys might just not click, even if everything else makes sense.
Right.
And we're watching Married at First. Well, we've been watching Married at First Sight, like binge watching it, so that keeps coming to my mind.
Yeah.
But like the quote unquote experts are putting these people together because they're like based on all of this logistical data,
Tangible things.
tangible things. excuse me, you guys are perfect for each other, but it's up to y'all to make it work.
Right.
But then you have all these couples that are like, okay, but we didn't have chemistry right away. But then you have some couples where they really don't make as much sense together, but they had the chemistry right
Great
away.
chemistry.
But it doesn't last because then all the other things
Right.
that they want out of life and who they are as people don't match up. So, it's a balance of do we make sense together?
Yep.
As well as like, are we just naturally drawn to each other and do we naturally click and mesh?
Right.
So you can say that you're what every woman wants. That doesn't mean you're going to have chemistry with every woman.
That's right. But that's the key. It's like, I know at heart.
Yes.
It's like, I know what women need.
Yes.
So I feel like I can give that because I feel like at heart I am what women need.
Right.
As a man, because I feel like that's what I am to you. So it's a little different to me because I know that now. I guess it's probably a little harder if you haven't been like a husband.
I do think it takes time.
Yeah.
But that's where wise counsel is so valuable.
And I'm not even saying that. I just at heart I feel like I have something to offer.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, first of all, a lot of us know a lot doesn't mean we do it perfectly all the time.
Sure, but yes, having you knowing within yourself like, somebody wants me, you know what I mean? And somebody needs me. And then you take that in. You don't come in saying, girl, I know you want me. Like, no, I'm not talking like that.
Right.
But somebody wants what you have. Somebody wants your sense of humor. Somebody wants how you look.
Yeah.
Somebody wants what you do and where you want to live and how many kids you want to have and your sex style and your, whatever. Somebody wants that. And going in knowing like I can be confident because if that's not that person, it doesn't matter anyway.
It doesn't take anything away from you.
It doesn't take
anything. It just
anything.
mean that it wasn't,
Right.
They weren't the one for you.
You weren't the one.
Yeah.
Right. So
And
in
that's
that case,
okay.
you don't actually have anything to lose.
Right.
That's the hardest part about rejection is because we think people are rejecting who we are as a person. It's like, no, you just don't fit for me.
Yeah.
And here's the truth. I may actually, but you don't think I do.
Yeah, it's true.
And this is where it falls apart is because now what I want to do is show them that I am who they think I am. But the truth is I might not be.
Yeah.
And I might be. So at the end of the day, you really have to be yourself. And this is where people say this all the time. It's like, be yourself, is because that's who you are.
Yeah.
When you're trying to be something, you can only keep up facades for so long.
So true.
I don't even want to be my best self. I just want to be who I am today. Like if I'm talking to a woman on a Tuesday, who am I on a Tuesday? And be that person.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's true. That's good stuff.
Yeah. And I do have a bonus.
All right.
Extra credit. Be aware of surroundings. If she has an engagement ring on,
Yes.
if she's with another man, if she's with friends, does she seem to be interested in men? That was 4 different strokes. Okay. This is like, we're in a day and age where a lot of people seem to be openly homosexual, right? And you have to be aware enough to say, and I'm not discounting anybody to say, because some people may just want to dress a certain way. Maybe she just likes to, wear male clothing and just is just comfortable. That happens, fine, But you don't need to be like surprised if somebody says like, I don't like men.
Yeah.
Or something like that. You should really be aware enough to realize like, oh, she looks like she doesn't want men, or at the very least, she doesn't want the attention of men.
Right.
Otherwise, she wouldn't dress like that. And then move on about your business. But I've literally thought about this, Chels, that I've never looked at a woman and saw an engagement ring. Ever. Like, I've never even looked for it. And that's something that men can miss.
Yeah.
Like, oh, maybe, you know what I mean?
Well, can I also say that, we've been married.
Yeah.
We've been together since we were really young. So, like, I don't think we really got to the
Okay.
a lot of our friends are just now getting married.
At that time, I understand.
At that time, like, when you're 19, 20,
Right.
21, most women are not married that you're
true.
even looking at that are your age.
But these days, it's probably worse, though. Like, a lot of our friends maybe, but, like, people are getting married later and later.
It's true.
So now if you're a 27, 28, it's perfectly reasonable
Yeah.
for nobody to have wedding rings on.
that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just something you have to be aware of, because I know I used to miss that. Something I would never even thought of. Like, oh, let me see if she's married or engaged, and never even thought. It would just be like, oh, is she cute? Okay, let's go talk to her now.
I feel like even more so being aware, you need to be aware of them too. Because let's say you have had a few exchanges or seen each other on multiple occasions or whatever, and it's like she's literally said, oh, I'm a vegan. And then you're like, hey, you want to go to Joe's Burger Shack for a date?
Yes.
No, I do not. Well, and now she's over here like, oh, well, first of all, he doesn't listen to me or pay attention to
there
me.
You go.
And secondly, what am I good? Like, she might be trying to be nice and be like, well, do they have salads there or something?
Yes, and now she's bougie to you.
Exactly.
She being all stuck up.
Right. So be aware of her too. Pay attention.
Yes.
That's a bonus on mine.
That's
Pay attention.
There you go.
And that's something you've always been very good at too. I'll say
attention,
stuff and not even realize I said it, and then you'll be like, "Oh yeah, because you said blah blah blah," and I'm just like, "Oh, this is great.
It's catalog.
This is great."
I remember, and it's in me.
Yeah, because you don't want to do something to like try to woo her that doesn't suit her.
Right. You trying to bungee jump because she ain't that woman.
And she might have actually said to you like, "Oh no, I'm too scared of heights."
Yes, I'm scared
and then
of
you
heights.
out here, "Hey, let's go." It's like, bro,
Lord have mercy. If she is very well dressed and her nails is always done and she's very well put together, she ain't trying to do no outdoor nothing.
Well,
hard she. I'm not saying she don't want to,
but yeah,
you are not going to catch her on a whim.
Yeah, no.
Oh, I planned this date on a whim. We're going to go hiking. It's like, sir, you're going to go hitchhiking. I will hitchhike before you catch me out here hiking.
We have many bonuses. First of all, as a man, you need to know.
Yes.
If you're trying to take her on something like where she would get dirty or sweaty or whatever, tell her in advance.
Please tell her.
Because if you just telling her I'm taking you out, she's going to dress nice and do her hair and put makeup on and etc. And then she's going to be upset.
Certainly.
That you're trying to take her like, you know, whatever the places he just said.
Applebee's. Anywhere where don't fit her outfit.
Right.
Because you can look nice at Applebee's.
You can. Mm-hmm.
But she'll probably try to look more cute and sporty going to Applebee's than she will be trying to go to, Ocean Prime.
Exactly.
Morimoto.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you need to get that together.
Yeah.
But that's one stroke. What was the other stroke? Being aware of her. Is she actually with another man? All right?
Now, who's that oblivious,
listen,
though?
Just because she with another man, it doesn't mean that that's her man.
True.
Right? But it could be her father, which is funny if you're black, I guess. Sometimes black people look really young.
It's true.
And
or they might have had the child young.
And you don't know which one is looking young. So now it's like, I don't know if he's a 40-year-old man or a 30-year-old man, and I don't know if she's a 30-year-old woman or a 20-year-old woman. I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe that's your daddy. Maybe that's your brother. Maybe that's your uncle. Maybe that's your pastor. I don't know.
Or just a friend.
But that's something you have to worry. Not worry, but just be cognizant. Like, don't be so blinded.
Yeah.
It's like, and I ain't saying stalk the people, but sometimes he just walked that way for 10 seconds and you trying to hop in. Here you come walking back and now you got an altercation because you just wasn't paying attention.
Oh my gosh.
My Lord. But also, is she with her friends? Because it takes a different level of man to walk into a group of women to try to get one woman.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. But that may be something you don't need to do. And they may not be in the mood.
Yeah.
This is where people fall apart and sometimes men get uncomfortable being around homosexual men because they know how men are. And what sometimes a homosexual men would say, just because I'm attracted to men don't mean I'm attracted to you.
Right.
And that's true. But they know how men operate. When men like something, they like it. And we like a lot. We like a lot. This is where women don't like men sometimes because we like everybody who's cute. If I don't know you and you're cute, I like you. Great. I'm attracted to you. And I don't mind trying to talk to anybody. Right? So now that's where they get uncomfortable because they're like, well, if you're a man and you feel the same way, that would mean that anybody you think is attractive, you want to talk to them.
Right.
Yeah. So they get uncomfortable. But what happens, same thing with women or in a group, is like you can't always think that her mind is in a space where she's even looking. Like sometimes she ain't even looking for that. She's out here with her friends.
Just trying to chill out, relax.
You know what I mean? They're having a good time.
Yeah.
And I don't ascribe to drinking, but some people do drink. And if you find, like I would say as an example, because I wouldn't do this and I wouldn't be in that space to be like, if they're in a group of friends and sometimes you're out somewhere and if you wanted to, hey, buy them all a drink. Right. And then get maybe her a special drink and say, all these drinks are for you, and this one's especially for you. Like the waiter, somebody will say that to you. If they're at a dinner, let's go with that because we're saved, right? If they're at a dinner, group of women, and then you say, all right, I don't know, that's kind of hard.
Desserts on me or
desserts
something.
Or something.
Yeah.
Desserts on me, special note for her. I don't know, something.
Right.
And maybe you don't want to do that at all. Who knows? Right. I don't know. But just don't always think that women are always they're not like us.
And this is where I feel like the probability of you having a successful reach out, I don't know what word I'm looking for right now, is higher when it's not somebody that you just passed by one time and found attractive.
Yeah.
You know, you have more leeway. It's harder to infiltrate because like there's so many circumstances when it's somebody you don't know that is just passing by.
Yeah.
There's so many things to have to get through, like, okay,
Yeah.
like, is this, you
Does
know,
she have a man?
right versus
does.
like somebody that, you know, works at the post office that you frequent.
Yeah.
And you've been there a few times. She doesn't have a ring on her
Post
finger.
office.
We don't know if she's in a relationship or not because they wouldn't be there.
Right.
But like, you know, she doesn't have a ring on her finger and she's been nice and I've been able to kind of test the waters and, you know, and like, it's not going to be a thing where it's like weird, you know? So
Yeah.
I feel like that's where that really can play to your advantage, you know, in that type of situation instead of trying to just hooty-hoo all these people. Like, you know, because that just gets to be. And I will say, too, that, like, I remember being guarded where it was just because I honestly, like, that whole I don't feel like being bothered thing. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't come to the mall for that today.
Right.
You know, like, and I don't know you, so I don't even know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But I'm already more defensive than I would be
Yeah.
if you were somebody I've seen a few times and
Right.
it was more of a casual thing and we were supposed to be together in this place.
Right.
You know, versus like I'm just trying to go shopping and I'm with my friends and now here comes this guy bothering me.
Certainly.
Like I felt like that almost every time.
Mm-hmm.
I like now that I'm looking back almost
Wow.
every time. Like, and a lot of times if I saw that a guy looked at me too long or something, I would be purposefully not looking at him.
Just don't
like
don't
trying to
give him
give
no hope.
strong vibes.
hope.
Like, do not approach me.
Here he
And
come.
not everybody was ugly or you know, whatever else the case may be, but like I just didn't want that, you know? And I definitely think depending on the woman and the age,
Yeah.
but I was always old.
Old lady Chelsea.
I was always old. Like I was okay. I wasn't like if you're not dealing with a woman that likes attention.
Yeah.
Like I never needed all of that, you know. Like if you're not dealing with a woman that like, and I think that goes back to what you were saying. Like I'm not saying I'm Halle Berry's or anything, but like, you know, in my younger years, I was a nice looking woman. You know, I'm still a nice looking woman, but you know, in my younger years, I was a, you know, whatever you call those. So
I don't know, a hottie, a baddie.
yeah, something like that. You know, so like I got approached often and
Yeah.
it gets old. You know, it gets old where it's just like, all right, now I just want y'all to leave me alone. Like it's not special to me that you think I'm cute. Cool. Everybody
Right.
thinks I'm cute.
Right.
You know, and it's not even to be like that. It's just if you're not an ugly woman and you're young and you're out here being cute and looking available, you just get bombarded. A lot of us do. Many of us are dealing with that situation, and then here you come, and it's like you just caught me at a bad time in a bad way. You know?
Mercy.
Yeah. So I definitely would say go for the long game, not the she walked down the hallway and let me catch you before I never see you again. Trust me, you'll see somebody else again. It's all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you will. But at the heart of it is you know, go find, and don't be afraid to try. Don't be afraid to try, because just kind of go with the. I feel like if you go with the right intentions, you really can't have a bad outing. Because if you're going with the intentions to introduce yourself and just let somebody know, hey, I'm interested. If they don't want you, cool, that's okay. If you're not I mean, there's some really raggedy people out there, but the average woman is not mean. Most women are sweet, and if they're not interested, preferably they'll just tell you. I know sometimes.
Well, I don't know about that.
I don't know. Sometimes women just want to be nice and they'll try to appease you, especially younger
Yeah.
women. It's like older, more seasoned, grown women will just no, thank you, and just take that. That's okay. That means she don't like you. Cool. Somebody likes you.
Yeah, it's true.
Somebody likes you, but don't let any of that deter you from trying to find, because he that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor with the Lord.
Amen.
Amen. So thank you guys for watching. Give a like, subscribe, share. If you think this is all hogwash, share that in the comments.
Yes, please do.
And we appreciate it. And if you want to share it, share it. If you want to like, let your yes be yes, yet your no be no.
And do you have any more tips?
You got any more tips?
What are some more tips,
Best
guys?
tip gets a prize.
Woohoo! All right.
All right, my love, I love
I
you.
love you too.
Love y'all. See y'all soon.
Goodbye.